Hello, Division 4. All right, so this is our math, page A13 and A14. And what this is just reinforcing our division multiplication connections, as well as making it into a secret code or a little puzzle here. As limerick that's a twisted tail. As always, you do the brackets first, and then you would do the addition to find our answer. For example, for the first one here, you do the 7 times 2, which would give you 14, and then you add 3, which would you see t is equal to was 3 plus 14 would give you 17, right? So t is equal to 17, right? And then on down the bottom here, you'd find 17 and put the letter t. And of course, there's going to be more than possibly another 17 somewhere, and then you'd add the t's there. Some of them are a little bit more tricky or challenging. For example, for here on number 14, you have e times 7 plus 6 equals 55. So we're figuring out what e is, and for us to do the parentheses or the brackets first, we have to figure out what we need. Well, we know that it ends with 55, and if you add 6 to this, gives you 55. So what you want to do is you want to subtract the 6 from the 55. So 55 minus 6 actually gives you 49, right? Because we know that 49 plus 6 gives you 55. You see how I'm going backwards, whether it be with multiplication or division or subtraction with addition, by going backwards. So now you're asking yourself, what times 7 gives you 49? Oh, there's that language again of using division multiplication. And of course, we know that 7 times 7 equals 49. So you put the 7 there. And once again, you find where there's a 7 and you put the letter E. And there's going to be multiple ones here. This is actually pre-algebra, where you have a variable or an unknown. And that's where it goes. So for example, for this one here, right? So 9 times 7 plus what would give you 72. So you have to figure out what that is, and the variable is f, and f is equal, and then you slot that variable in. So kind of let you know that you're on the right track to pre-algebra. All right, and the other one we're doing is A14, which is Chinese stained glass. And basically what that's doing is looking at all these equations, because we're so familiar with them now that you should be able to look at them and see if they're correct or not. So for example, 6 times 7 is 42. And so I'd put a little check mark there and I'd leave it, because the idea is you're going to shade in 21 mistakes, okay? And the idea is that you shade it in and an image will appear. So if I look at 18 divided by 3, so I know going backwards, 7 times 3 is not 18. So that one's incorrect. I know that's 21. So that can't be right. And so what you do then, you go ahead and shade that section in. And I would probably do a pretty good job. Like I would try and do it as dark as you can and fall right down to the edges, and then your image will come up, right? So that's the idea, is that you can look at 32 divided by 4 is 8. Well, I know that 8 times 4 is 32. Yes, that's correct. And I can put my little check mark there. And that's for that. Now, the last thing, and this is optional, this is for the students who want to really challenge themselves, and I'd like you to post this if you can. There are 100 multiplication facts here, and you can see them all mixed up. And the idea is you time yourself. Now, you can print this several times, so you can do this more than once to try to beat your time. The idea is maybe get a stopwatch or a phone, and maybe have a parent or somebody to test you or to time you, and basically, and you just go through it. Now, once you've done it once, it'll probably be a little quicker the next time, for two reasons. One, because you are getting better, and also because you might recognize a pattern from last time. But the idea is, what you can do to really hammer in is, you can just do it the way you do it. Maybe next time go backwards, go from bottom to top, or maybe go side to side. But the idea is to time it. And then if you would like, you can start posting your time and share with us on Teams, and see how well you do, and maybe have someone, almost like a around the world that we used to do in the class, just for those students who like to challenge themselves, especially something like this where they feel very comfortable in it. By all means, it's not it's just an optional thing. It's for the kids who would like to, or the students who'd like to extend. All right, until next time.